Hey guys, Daniel here. Welcome back to the Motor Hands Garage, and today I just wanted to do a video and talk to you about the modifications that I've done on the DR650 and how they're holding up. Now I get asked all the time how certain modifications are holding up over time. Bear in mind my DR is 2017 with almost 30,000 Ks on it now, so I thought I'd do one video and just talk to you about everything. So one of the first things I did to my DR650 when I bought it was remove the upper chain roller. Now all I can say is benefits to that. I've had no ill effect of having that off, so that one is a thumbs up from me. Next thing I did to my DR was fit this box on the back. This was a real cheap modification. I bought this from super cheap. A couple of riv nuts into the rack here and she's good to go. I was originally removing this and taking it off as I needed, and I was using it as a camera box. I've taken all that foam out now and I leave it on permanently, and currently I've got my toolkit in here because I've still got the light bar up front. When the light bar is not on the front, the toolkit goes up there, and I just use this for carrying everyday crap around with me, and it stays on the bike permanently. 100% waterproof, no problems with it. The next thing I did to my DR was the Tusk pannier frames. Now if you watched the video, there was a bit of faffing around to get these to fit with this B&B off-road rack that was on my bike, but once I managed to get them on the bike, they have been solid. I've never removed them since then, and I've never had a need to. They've just worked. I've had my Moscow bags on here, and yeah, no problems with them. I would buy them again. Real cheap rack, and for the price I think it's really good. The next thing I did to my bike was fit the engine guards and the frame protectors. Now I think this was a really good modification, especially the frame protectors. It stops them from getting all rusty from your bits. As you can see, these are all scored up, so they're doing their job well. Real good quality, no problems with them, and same with these engine guards. They've held up really well. If you come around this other side, you can see this one here from a few offs has been catching on the shift lever, so it doesn't actually hit there, but obviously when I crash it does make contact there. So that has protected the case on this side, so this side was definitely worthwhile. And the only thing with the frame guard on this side, it uses a metal cable tie. Now that has rubbed the paint away on the inside, so I would probably recommend either using a plastic one or just not having a cable tie there. So while we're down here looking at the engine guards, I'll show you the case saver that I fed, which is also B&B. It's going really well. I haven't had a chain snap yet, which is good, but I really like it for getting in there to clean it whenever I do clean the bike, and it's also good to monitor your front sprocket wear. The only thing I did notice was this wiring here was rubbing on the edge of the case saver there. It's quite hard to see, but it hadn't rubbed through the actual wire, but it rubbed through this outer sheathing here. So what I did was just fit this sort of plastic corrugated stuff and just slide that over there. And that has stopped any further wear. Something to keep an eye on if you do fit one of them. The ProCycle tool tube. Now, I've had no problems with this. It does the job really well. It was a bit of a faff to fit again, like I said in the video, but apart from that, it's been doing the job great. It holds everything I need it to. It's completely waterproof. The only thing it could do with me being slightly wider diameter, because I do struggle to fit my hand in there. But apart from that, great. In that same order from ProCycle, I did get this fender brace here as well, and this has been good also. I carry a lot of weight up front. As you can see, I've got a light bar and 2 spotlights currently, and I normally run 2 spotlights and then my toolkit up front here. So it does take a bit of weight in here, and I've had no issues with it. It's solid. While we're up here, I'll just talk to you about the light bar and the spotlights. Now these haven't been on here that long, maybe just over a year, and they've been holding up pretty well actually. I run the spotlights during the day on all the time, and I think that helps just to get cars to see me a bit better. They do work okay at night time, but I don't use them on at that time. And the light bar, I use that in conjunction with my high beams for nighttime riding. This is a godsend. For what it cost me, I think it was about 80 bucks from super cheap. I wouldn't do any night riding without it. One of the brackets here on this spotty has got a crack in it. I mean, it's still secure, but that is due in part to some vibration, and also I did hit a couple of birds on the way back from the North Island 1600 last year, but that's been like that for a while and it hasn't fallen off yet, so I'm not worried about it. While we're here, we'll talk about the JNS LED headlight. This has been great. Just the normal dip beam has been fantastic. If I wasn't doing like 24-hour riding all night challenges, I wouldn't use this light bar. That headlight is more than adequate. It also allows me to run my heated grips on full and the LED light bar on as well. Because when I did the North Island 1600, I just had the standard headlight and I couldn't run my heated grips as well as the light bar. So when you're doing full, like riding all night, having the heated grips on when it's 5-6 degrees, riding all night, it does make a difference massively. So I had to either choose between riding with no light bar or no heated grips. So that LED headlight cured all that. It freed up loads of spare amperage for the accessories, and it gives me a much cleaner daytime, much cleaner low beam and a far superior high beam. Now this next one I do get asked quite a bit about, and this is the Parabellum rally screen. I really like it. I like it for the looks. Buffeting wise, I don't really find it too much different to the screens for bikes that I had on beforehand. It's really much the same, but just looks wise, I like that. I love that rally sort of styling. It does the job really well. Now when I fitted that screen, I also fitted this little plastic thing here, which I've just taped onto the screen and screwed down into my cowling here, and that was just to get my sat-nav basically off the handlebars and up to a more adequate viewing area, so I didn't have to take my eyes off the road to look at the sat-nav. Now this here is not doing very well. This is all broken down here due to vibrations, and I'm not really liking the switch here I've got for my spotlights. Everybody always asks about this thing here, because when you see it in the videos it spins around. That is a solid light. It's probably spinning around just now, but that is a solid light, and that is a voltage indicator, which I was using to... So I was just using that to keep an eye on my accessories when I was doing those long night rides with the light bar. I'm probably going to get rid of this at some point soon, and probably this whole cowling, and fit probably a rally fairing. Probably going to fit a rally fairing, something like a Yenko or something similar anyway. Mainly because I do like the rally styling, and I do want my sat-nav up in front of me. That was a massive improvement in my opinion. So a modification I did to the bike that I didn't make a video on were these bar risers. Now these are just standard 35mm bar risers. They're not DR specific, and I think I just bought them on Trade Me. They were cheap as. So I get quite cramped in the bike, hence the lowered pegs, and those bar risers did make a big difference to me as well. I will eventually look at getting different handlebars, because I'm still using the stock handlebars, and they are a wee bit bent from all my crashes. So I will probably upgrade the handlebars at some point, probably some Pro Taper Adventure ones that have got a rise on them. So I've also got an external fuel filter on the bike, which I didn't make a video on, but it's been on pretty much since I bought it. And it's down here. Now this is, I think I bought it from Adventure Bike Australia, and it just sits inline in the fuel line there. There is an original filter which sits in the inlet here, but it's so small and crap, you just take it out and chuck it in the bin. And this is a much better way of doing it. Now, like I said, it's been there since I pretty much bought it, so about 20,000 Ks, and I've had it block up on me twice. Both times I've been out on the road, and what it feels like is you're running out of fuel. Now, all I do to counteract that is I take it off, I spin it round, put it back into this side of the pipe, the wrong way around, switch the fuel on, and basically blow all the dirt back out of it again. Once I do that, I just chuck it back on the normal way, and away I go. Been no problem. So that's been really good. Easy to clean out, like I said, and I haven't had an issue with it. My carburetor has never blocked up. Right, so we'll talk about the oil filter mod now, and this was a modification where I changed it from bolts to stud and nuts. This has been going really well. I've done 2 oil changes since. I've fitted it and it doesn't leak, and it's easy to change, and it should sort of future-proof me in that department. Right guys, so now in the heart of the bike here, we've got a few modifications in here that I've done, and we'll start with the Eastern Beaver Power Commander 8. Power Center 8, sorry. This has been really good. Perfect for what I needed it for, powers all my accessories, you've got your switched and you're permanently live. I am thinking of buying another one for the main streak, so yeah, that's how much I like it. Next up, I'll talk about the secondary filter here. Now, you will remember I originally fitted the 20R1, and I did a recent video on that and talked about how crap it was and how I've gone back to the stock one. The stock one's been going well. I haven't cleaned it yet since then, so that's what, 4,000 or 5,000 Ks compared to cleaning the 20R1 every 1,000 to 2,000 Ks, so that's a big improvement for me. Much better design. The last thing under here will be the rubber that I fed under the tank to stop the shakes. That has been going perfect. That is, I don't know how long that's been. It's been a long time anyway. Probably 10,000 to 15,000 Ks. No issues whatsoever. It solved all the problems that I had, which was the tank was hitting on the spark plug cap on this side, and on that side it was hitting the oil cooler guard. So as you can see here, there's still a big gap there. I can get my finger in there between the oil cooler guard and the tank, so that's still working absolutely perfect. Right guys, so that's pretty much everything I have done the bike since I've owned it. I'll talk to you just briefly about the things that were on the bike when I bought it and how they are holding up. I'll start with this Acerbis 25 litre tank. That has been going great. I've got no problems with that. You see a lot of people online complain about the caps quite tight to open and close, and Danny's bike was. This one must have been a good one, and this one is fine. I've had no problems with it. I did do that modification that I talked to you about with the shake. Apart from that, it's been going really well. I get roughly 450 to 500 Ks to a tank, sometimes a bit more, depending on how I ride. So that is really, I can't complain at that. This seat here, everybody always asks me what brand is it. I have no idea. It's not a stock seat, as you can see. As you can see, it's real squishy. It's got like a gel, I don't know if it's gel or if it's just a real soft foam in it. There's no branding on it, there is no labels on the underside. I've got no idea what seat it is, but I couldn't ride the bike without it. This little USB charger was on the bike when I bought it. It works. I don't know what brand it is, probably just a cheapo. No problems with it whatsoever. Same with these heated grips. These are Oxford premium heated grips. They were on the bike when I bought it. I have had a few issues with these. This is the third controller I've gone through. I have just been buying controllers from Trade Me, just second-hand ones, and chucking them on, but they do seem to crap out. I'm not sure why. But they do provide you with good warmth, and they work. This B&B off-road rack was fitted to the bike when I bought the bike as well. It's really good, holds my camera box, no problems with that. You do get the big plate that goes on there as well, but I do not have that. If I didn't have this box in here, I probably would invest in that, because it's not a lot. There's not a lot of surface area there to tie down like a bag or something. I don't have the bark busters fitted just now, but I have the actual guards fitted. These were on the bike when I bought it as well, and these are fantastic. These have, I've fallen off heaps of times with these, and they are still solid. I take the plastic guards off in the winter, and I run those big Oxford muff things that I wear. And keeping this bar here just stops it from pressing on the levers. But I've got no problems with the bark busters. They are a real good addition to the bike. These pegs here were also fitted to the bike when I bought it. These are the lowered pegs. I wouldn't ride this bike without them. These are fantastic. I'm not sure on the branding on these, but if you have a look, there's loads of different brands. I'm pretty sure these are just the straight down ones rather than the down and back ones which you get, and that is more than adequate for me. Right guys, so that's pretty much covered every single mod on my DR650 and how it's going so far. Like I said, everything's going pretty well apart from the 20 filter, which I did do a video about and talk to you about why I didn't like it. Everything else has been going perfect. If there's anything that I missed or anything that you want a bit more details on, drop a comment below and I will get back to you. But with that, thanks for watching, and I will catch you all next time. See you later.